Hey guys, Chapter 10, Section 2 video here for you. Today we're going to work on how can you describe the likelihood an event will occur. So we're going to talk about looking at a situation and determining how likely it is. And we're going to get into the mathematical measurement of likelihood, which is kind of cool. That's what we call probability. When we want to measure how likely something will happen, we call that in math the probability of something happening. So I'm going to write as a definition in our notebook, measuring the likelihood of something occurring. Measuring the likelihood of something occurring. So let's say we did it on a spectrum here. We're going to draw a number line in our notes. On the left hand of the number line is what I'm going to call the impossible side. And on the right, I'm going to say it's the certain side, like for sure. If I asked you how likely is it I'm going to pass my algebra test? Well, I could rate it from impossible to I'm certain I'll pass. I could kind of use this as my spectrum. Now, mathematically, I could say impossible means I have a 0% chance of passing. Like, there is no way I'm going to pass. 0% means, like, not even possible. Certain would be I have a 100% chance of passing. For sure, 100% I'm going to pass. Now, in the middle is where it's equally likely to happen or not. So that's where we call that 50-50 chance. So I'm going to put in the middle here 50%. Equally likely to happen or equally likely to not happen. Now, in between 0 and 50 and 50 to 100, we could put labels like this, like something's unlikely, that'd be like 25%, or something's likely to happen, 75%. Likely means it'll probably happen, but it's not certain. And unlikely means it probably won't happen, but again, not for sure. So if I wanted to give different numbers to this, instead of percents, I could use fractions. I could say 0% is just 0, 25% is actually just 1/4, 50% is a half, 75% is 3/4, and 100% would be 1. If I wanted to do decimals, I could do that too. I could say 0, I could say 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1. See all these different ways we could rate this? So if I told you I had a 50% chance of winning the lottery tomorrow, yeah, right, but let's say I did. I could say that's the same as having a half a chance or a 0.5 chance. All those numbers mean the same thing. It kind of makes me think of the weatherman. You guys ever watch the news in the morning and watch them talk about the weather? They always tell you what's the chance of it being hot or cold tomorrow. The likelihood. So we're going to do some examples now. We're going to try our first problem here. And it is about the weather. So there is a 20% chance of snow flurries tomorrow. Describe the likelihood of the event. So you get on TV and you see that there's a 20% chance of snow tomorrow. Well, how likely is that? 20% is less than 50%. So therefore it's pretty unlikely it will snow. Doesn't mean it won't snow. It just means it's unlikely to snow. All right, so check out this snowboarder. That's me. And in the next problem, here's the question. Mrs. Neer can land half of her jumps on her snowboard. What's the likelihood she's going to land this jump that you just saw in the picture? Well, if I can land half of my jumps, then it's equally likely to happen or not. I got that 50% chance. So I'm 50-50. It could happen, it could not. Hard to say. I hope I land it, because if I don't, I'm going to smash my head in. All right, example 3. You roll a numbered dice. What is the probability of getting a 3? Probability. We've got some math words here. So probability means what's the chance you'll get a 3? Well, let's get into probability. One of the things we do in math is we use the capital letter P to stand for probability, so we don't have to write the word all the time. And we want the probability of a 3. So look how I'm going to write this. I'm going to write parentheses 3. Now let's think about that. On a dice, there are 6 numbers you can get, but only one of them has a 3. So basically I have a 1 out of 6 chance, a 1/6 chance. If I was to grab a calculator right now, I could divide 1 divided by 6, and look what I get. I get this decimal, 0.16 repeated, 66666 repeated. So there is a 0.16 repeated chance I could roll a 3. That's not super likely. 1/6 and 0.16 repeated, they're the same thing. Same way of answering this question. Okay, example 4, I got a spinner in front of me here. We're going to spin the spinner. And the question is if you spin it, what's the probability of getting a yellow? So we got yellow and we've got blue sections. We want the probability, so P, of getting a yellow. How many sections are on this spinner altogether? Well, I see 8 sections, and how many are yellow? 4. So we have A, if you look at the yellows, we have 4 out of 8 possible yellows. So we have a 4/8 chance. And 4 divided by 8 on a calculator is 50%, it's 0.5. So the probability of getting yellow is 0.5 or 4/8. You can say it either way. So you got a decent chance of getting a yellow. All right, guys, so that is likelihood and probability. Of course, it's going to get more complicated as we build up, but I hope you're able to follow along, and there will be more videos. Bye.